So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. So we're very much on the way now. Who do you, Jim, see making a difference here?
This guy, Declan Rice, is a player I really rate. With him, you get exactly what it says on the box. A workhorse defence.
He's having a shot! And needless to say, that deserved better.
That's really well played. It's just the type of run you need. Off the shoulder of the last defender, stay onside.
Robson. And it's Iwobi.
That's positional gold, the utilisation of space.
Getting up there! Oh, crisper! It's there!
Well, they would have been looking at him to produce the goods, and that was very kind of him to oblige so early.
Sharp, simple, satisfying. He just knew what was on.
Well, I admire players who do that because they just don't give up on anything.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. Caceres, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Now it's Kukçu, goes down, but nothing given. Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
And that was asking for too much. Adams engages and forces him off the ball. Costa Curta deals with that comfortably. So just the one early goal to report so far. 1-0 the score. Rice. Oh, played through for the wide man. And he's cut it out. Robson. Xavi Alonso. That has been cut short. And here's Mbappe. Hazard has it in a wide position. Saliba calmly anticipates. Well, that pass isn't the best. Well, that has not gone well. Played back to the goalkeeper. Saliba. Costa Curta. Doué. Now Costa Curta. Oh, red, nice interception. Robson knocks it into space, and that could set him on his way. But it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Brzezinski. Looking for the run. Brzezinski. He is through here. And the finish! Oh, it's hit the post. And that's in. They have grabbed themselves an equaliser.
Well, it looks like we have ourselves a real game here now, Peter. They've been rewarded for their courage, for their attitude, for their application, and now they'll want another.
Not so much sophistication as doggedness and sheer bloody-mindedness.
That's really good anticipation too, Peter. Just instinctively knew where the ball would be and where he needed to put himself.
Arsenal restore parity.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter. When you've got two strong teams of fairly equal standing, the outcome should all come down to finishing.
And here's Van Nistelrooy. Spread it left. Brzezinski.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
He's shifting through the gears here. Mbappe. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other.
Well, the box was just so congested there, Peter. There was absolutely no space to work with.
Hazard gets flagged offside. Robson is the distributor-in-chief, always looking for movers. And here's Raul, looking to play in it. Chance! A real chance and a real let-off.
Well, it's almost like he had too much thinking time there, Peter.
Out of play for a throw. Silvestre is looking to influence the game from out wide. Brzezinski. A heavy challenge. Well, he's not happy with that challenge, but the referee has let it go. And a shot! Schlotterbeck. And he stands tall, impenetrable, and is quick to return it, skillfully cut out. He is so at ease on the ball. Pass somewhat off target. Simple.
2 minutos de descuento.
He's a sharp little ball here. Robson looking to add to his goal. Well, they can break here. Now it's Raul. And he's in on goal. Doué! And that's a tidy finish. And again they hit the front. The movement so precise. The finish sumptuous.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer.
And that is indeed the final act. Well, the scoreline at half-time, a fair reflection of things overall, you'd have to say that. There was certainly no lack of effort or endeavour in the first half. No, well, the pickings certainly have been rich in this first half.
Yeah, they're ahead, Peter, but they can't afford to get too complacent. They need to go with the same intensity and tempo they showed in getting both the goals. Try to get another now and establish that 2-goal cushion early in the second half.
So it has been pretty frantic here, everybody eagerly awaiting the start of the second half. And hostilities have resumed at the start of the second half. Costa Curta. Rice. And it's Kukçu. It's played through for him. Now this could be a chance. Can he finish? Goal! What remarkable powers of recovery!
Yeah, and it's very much deserved in the circumstances. In these games, it's so tempting to maybe get a little sorry for yourselves, but there's none of that.
There was no getting to that, no getting to it at all. Expertly done.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
That's clear cut, it's a free kick. Well, that's a booking, always looked it. Kukçu. Raul. And there's green grass ahead of him. Now he's off and running. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. It's a poor throw that, picked off with relative ease. Corner then. And we have our very first corner. Kukçu plays it short. And this is Hazard. Arsenal have their second corner now. Serginho goes short. And now a sudden chance to counter. And this is Van Nistelrooy. Doué receives it in a good position here. Adams. So, Jim, is that the manager telling the forwards that they must stay forward for now?
Well, I think he just is concentrating on the...
Shapes to shoot! Robson. Van Nistelrooy, always looking for that half a chance. And he cuts out the supply. And it's Rosicki. He's in a great position here. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time.
I just think, though, that was selfish and a little uncalled for him. He must have been aware that he had options to his left.
He's found a way through. Nice bit of trickery. Frimpong crosses. And back out. Doué. Rosicki, played out to the left flank. Can he get it through? That's a nicely shaped ball. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Well, the pass wasn't good enough, and he knows it.
Quality ball. Looking for options for movement. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
You know, it was an intervention that had to be made. Serious trouble lay in store.
Oh, it's taken out. That'll be a foul. And that's going to be a booking. Players have gathered round and they are clearly concerned.
El dorsal 23, el dorsal 19, el dorsal 17 serán sustituidos por el dorsal 8, Ronaldinho, el dorsal 20, Messi, el dorsal 3, Sneijder.
Well, the two coaches are signalling changes here, both at the same time. Adams gets it away. And he's intervened well there. Nicely spread. Messi. Now that looks a decent ball. And that is out of play. Intercepts the throw, that's well read.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
It's a smartly directed ball. Played out towards the right wing. And here's Messi. Passing is crisp and sharp. Tries to play it for shot at goal! And it's hit the woodwork and out! Caceres gets over and intercepts. Rice goes sliding in. And a chance! It's run loose, who's going to get there? The ball goes in. And that has been cleared. He's going for goal! Now, who's going to be first to this? That was superb goalkeeping.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
Cambio de jugadores.
Yeah, and the jostling for position has begun. There's hardly any breathing space in that box.
Cleared away.
I think we might be done here, Peter. I don't see there being enough time for them to try again.
Schlotterbeck. Now that's well seen too. Now, can they get him away? Spread out to the left. He's got away. Oh, this looks sharp.
Habrá 4
And he
minutos
could
de
have done
descuento.
himself a massive favour by just lifting his head up there. You know, it would have been a better picture of what was...
Takes a shot! Well, now it's a race for the ball. It's a promising position, and that has left him in a heap. Oh, that's a foul in a dangerous area. And the referee has shown him a yellow card. I think we've got just about enough time for this free kick. Rice. He's having a hit! Whistle's gone, and they've got themselves a free kick. He knew what was coming. That's a yellow card.
Well, talk about being caught between a rock and a hard place. I don't think he had much choice there, although he's paid for it.
The final whistle is imminent, but I do think he'll allow time for this free kick.
Yeah, that's such a good position too.
Kachu!
Oh, well done for him to take the shot on. He did at least hit the target.
And that's that. So it is something for both, but ideal for neither. Both parties having to settle for what they get. Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. So we're very much on the way now. Who do you, Jim, see making the difference here?
Well, Peter, it would have to be the highly rated Dean Howson. The perfect blend of total football and tiki-taka. I like the front.
Getting up there! Crossbar comes to the rescue. Oh, he's gifted it. And a chance! There it is!
Well, they would have been looking at him to produce the goods, and that was very kind of him to oblige so early.
Oh, a horrible error, and he has nowhere to hide.
Well, you've got to give him credit for pressing so quickly there.
I doubt very much that this was in the script. He's being urged to shoot. There's the shot! And for a moment, time stood still.
Well, it wasn't the best pass, was it? The apologetic look says it all, really. He knows he could have got his team in real trouble then.
Well, height could make all the difference on these set pieces.
And that should get the job done. Now there's a fine shoots! It's loose and there's a race for the ball. Oh, sweet feet. And the ball is out of play. Rodri picks it up from the goal kick. And here's Yamal. So just the one early goal to report so far. And the score is 1-0. Oh, that's fabulous. Davids. Oh, they can break here. Well timed, excellent interception. Iwobi. First quarter of an hour gone. Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
That was good pressing, forced the error to put an end to it before things could get even more threatening. Now it's Schneider. Schneider is flagged offside. Marquinhos. Zé Roberto. And it's Davids. Now it's Haaland. Now it's Yamal. Yamal running with the ball. Out towards the flank. Cross from... Terrific effort! And it's in! Palmeiras are all square! Utterly unsophisticated, but stuck away with unashamed certainty.
Well, when you get service like that into the box, you can't go wrong.
Palmeiras restore parity.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter, when you've got two strong teams of fairly equal standing. The outcome should all come down to finishing.
Now it's Haaland. Now it's Yamal. That's a nicely shaped ball. Still very early doors, but it is a closely contested affair. Now it's Mbappe. Skillfully cut out. He is so at ease on the ball. Now it's Villa. Well, the runner's been sold a little bit short there.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
Well, that is one way to stop him. Now it's Mbappe.
Yeah, we get to see this more and more. Defenders popping up in these positions.
Silvestre is one whose deliveries we all know about. And there's his chance to lead the counter. Challenge just a bit on the firm side. David Villa! Now, who's going to be first to this? Silvestre. Now, who's going to be first to this? That is ended up in no man's land. Knocks it into space.
They've got to be quick moving this forward.
He's picked his way through. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Played through for the wide man. Picked a chance for a shot! He scored! That was easy, almost too easy.
Yeah, it's mystifying that a player of his talent wasn't picked up sooner, and he picked them off instead.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender, and he's done it again.
Robson with a definite foul there. And it's Roberto. Short changes him with that pass. Now it's Doué. Great vision. Oh, that's clever. There's the header! And a terrific save from the keeper.
Sneijder really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
Cantona. That's destined for the flank. He is through here.
That's a modern defender's instinct from a modern coach's mindset. Yeah, I think if that can be repeated, there's a good chance of a goal.
So, a temporary halt to the action. It's been thrills and spills at either end in the first half. Neither side really seizing the initiative, and both teams still very much in it. No, well, the pickings certainly have been rich in this first half.
Yeah, they're ahead, Peter, but they can't afford to get too complacent. They need to go with the same intensity and tempo they showed in getting both the goals. Try to get another now and establish that 2-goal cushion early in the second half.
So it has been pretty frantic here. Everybody eagerly awaiting the start of the second half. And so the action is resumed. Now it's Sneijder. No, not quite on the same wavelength. Cantona, the specialist in tearing teams apart. Oh, perfectly measured that. Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
It's Alonso! And that's a good finish. Goal they've been looking for. There was no getting to that, no getting to it at all. Expertly done.
That's just a fabulous, fabulous finish. Anything that close to the frame of the goal, 99 times out of 100, the keeper's not getting there.
So the lead now is 2.
The crowd are calling for this to be put to bed. There's little sympathy about.
Howson. Mbappe. And he's had it nicked away. Oh, he's felt that, hasn't he? Mbappe showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. Rodri is there, and he can pick it up. Robson is always playing with one eye on the spectacular. And that has left him in a heap.
Incentive set and incentive met. Now they've got to take it on and...
Oh, he's been caught napping! The referee has given a corner. Corner number 2 then. Davids! Nearly, but not quite. Schlotterbeck. Well, momentarily the situation was perilous, but his alertness has saved the day.
Well, what can you say about that? Just about everything was stacked against him, and he still came through.
Frimpong. Davids proves too strong. Davids.
That's going in strongly.
Now the ball's gone astray. De Roberto puts a cross in. Schneider. Oh, good-looking ball.
Yeah, they were looking for a counter-attack.
David Villa. David Villa! Relentless! Just relentless! And with that, he takes home the match ball. And that means just one thing, match ball.
Well, talk about being on top of your game. Everything seems to be coming off for him.
It's starting to look like a done deal now. Can he latch on to this? Cafu gets across to intercept that.
Se va a producir un cambio de jugadores. El dorsal 19 será reemplazado por el dorsal 18.
So we have movement on both benches. Howson. And say Roberto. Thuram. And it's Davids. Thuram. That is a jarring tackle, but apparently nothing wrong with it. And he's quick to return it. Donnarumma gets his hands on it, and the danger is averted. Cafu. That is good strength. Tries to pass it through. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
He made it look a bit predictable.
Cafu receives it in a wide position. Zaire Emery. Messi. And he's forced to go back. Schlotterbeck. Rafinha.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
He's found space here. Howson. Davids. Well, good play on the left-hand side here. He's found a way past.
Whatever happens, that's the kind of movement which raises hope.
Well, he's seen that early. Used a certain sixth sense. Rodgers. Rafinha. He's had a fair tumble under that challenge. Now that looks a decent ball. Oh, he's onto this.
What a letdown when you've got such presence and movement.
Habrá 3 minutos
Board
de
shows there
descuento.
will be 3 extra minutes. Nice looking ball, nicely worked. That is a brilliant interception. Decent chance! And he's stuck it away. This day becomes absolutely perfect, utterly ideal. Unstoppable. And we're done. Well, that was a shimmering, sizzling, scintillating game. The key characters glittered throughout and did what they did when required. So welcome to a day of high ambition, high aspiration and expectation. Just 1 point required and a brighter future is in the bag. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. We are just getting started. Well, those of you who followed English football around the turn of the century will certainly know this man well. He is, of course, Giovanni van Bronckhorst, another fine Dutch import who claimed his fair share of trophies whilst on these shores.
And later on in the continent too, Peter. He never really struck me as a flashy player, but rather a model of consistency, adaptability and intelligence. He excelled in one of the hardest roles in the game.
A role, of course, you know very well, Jim. Van Bronckhorst, an incredibly influential player, and it is no surprise that he's worn that famous orange shirt more than 100 times. And he's picked it up out wide, chance to deliver, and a header! Oh, he's been, and again! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
There's a certain aura about him today, tremendous.
Montedio Yamagata with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually. this is Gerrard. Oh, right place, right time. And now a sudden chance to counter. Rafinha. And here's Van Nistelrooy. And that pass just didn't quite work. And here's the chance to counter. So, Jim, what has caught your eye in these early exchanges?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up.
It's Van Basten! They want to be quick. Oh, what has happened here? Oh, that's nice. Hangs in a terrific effort. No, couldn't quite control it.
Yeah, some good movement inside the box. No shortage of targets here.
Xavi Alonso, probing pass. No luck with that dink over the top. Schlotterbeck gets across to intercept that. Now, can they get him away?
Well, it's not the best when it comes to decision-making. OK, initially he probably was afforded the space to hold on to it, but the longer he did that, the more he was going to be swamped.
Oh, there's a probing ball. And it's Xavi Alonso. Robson. Looking for options for movement. And he's intervened well there. No change to the score. 0-0 it remains. Great Rafinha! And they're quick to get it back. Looking to play him in. It's played through for him. Oh, he's all alone. Shot a goal! And it's a goal! And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Just when they thought they may be in at one end, they end up shipping a goal at the other, and it's all due to wonderful counter-attacking. They hardly had time to even react, and there's only one word to describe that: clinical.
The first break. There's the shot! He's done very well to get to that.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
And now they can spring out of defence. That's been slipped through. Good ball, good take. It's Van Basten! He's beaten the keeper, but hit the post. Araujo. Neither of these two want to come off second best. He came in hard, very hard. Threads one in. That is a jarring tackle, but apparently nothing wrong with it. Towering header! And that's a sharp finish. And they're threatening to fly away here. It was wonderfully efficient.
So well played, Peter. Did a great job keeping sight of the ball. Made a classic move and met it perfectly.
So that's two now without reply.
I think there's been a greater menace to everything they've been doing during this spell, one that they hope will continue.
Caceres. Approaching half-time and still behind. Can they make something happen now? Xavi Alonso, Araujo, Iwobi. Oh, great leap! Van Nistelrooy is flagged offside. That has not gone well. And this is Van Basten. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. And again, they run up against stubborn defending. Montedio Yamagata have a free kick.
Habrá 2 minutos de descuento.
Silvestre. Rafinha. Robson.
That's alert and sharp and very well played.
And we've reached half-time. What do you think we're up to after 45 minutes?
And the boss is going to be disappointed with the way his team just switched off for those 2 goals. They'll have to take some risks now to try and get back in this game, and it's easier said than done, as we know.
Well, that is the first half done, and we are ready for what follows in the second.
Se ha encontrado unas llaves de coche con un llavero en forma de balón. Se ruega a su propietario que se ponga en contacto con algún empleado del estadio.
That gets us going once more.
Well, I think they have to be positive despite the scoreline. The one thing they don't want to do, Peter, is give away an early goal. But they can't afford to get too cagey either. So attack with real devilment, go for that goal and see if they can unsettle them. Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
He's had a fair tumble under that challenge. Robson. Iwobi. Oh, facing up to his adversary. This is a formidable matchup. And here's Van Nistelrooy. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Yeah, he's fouled him there. Well, that's a booking. Always looked it.
Well, sometimes a loose foul can trigger a completely different spell of play, and it makes even less sense.
Lacking in accuracy.
Oh, look, his thinking was more audacious than his attempt. There's no doubt it's a long way back, but they can at least give us something to believe the gap might be closed.
Short changes him with that pass. Montedio Yamagata appear to be happy to let their front players stay. He leaps for it! Oh, off the bar! Oh, good take in a good area. Oh, he's having a shot! Off the post! Can he finish? Oh, needed to be more decisive in the end.
Well, it's a shame it ended up a little wasteful. They had the perfect opportunity to break away, and then they go and do that. It's got to be a quicker transition.
Schlotterbeck. This is a promising build-up. Done delicately. Well read, and the danger is averted. Well, quality clearly deserted him at the crucial moment.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Oh, well played, well sorted out. Well, he certainly caught him there. It's a free kick.
Se va a producir un cambio de jugadores. El dorsal
The two
21.
coaches are signalling changes here, both at the same time.
Well, it's pretty obvious they have to change their approach if they want this, and they do.
Spread neatly, and he's managed to get free.
Villa, el dorsal 23.
Delivered from distance. Decent chance! And he has kept it out somehow.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
Montedio Yamagata have their second corner now. Long ball looking to counter. And now a sudden chance to counter. Now it's Villa. They get a throw in. Hoisted in. Here comes the corner. It's their second corner of the game. Montedio Yamagata have the chance to go the other way. Davids, and it's Bale. Oh, he's burst through. Still! Oh, he has absolutely drilled that.
Oh, that's a cracking try. Good technique to keep it low too.
El dorsal 19.
So we have further activity on the bench here.
Yeah, they're looking for some imagination, and his job's going to be to add that element of craft and guile, the man pulling the strings. Chibuzqua really aren't making anything meaningful of their time on the ball.
75 minutes played. No way through. It's just beyond his reach. Tries to pass it through. Rodgers. He's a sharp little ball here. No, not quite on the same wavelength. Robson. Now Rodgers. Still no way through. The defending here is resolute. Van Basten chasing after it. A quick look, thought about cutting inside. He is through here. And he's straight offside.
Se va a producir un cambio de jugadores. El dorsal 9 será reemplazado por el dorsal 30.
Montedio Yamagata have turned to their bench, and we're going to have a substitution. Rodgers. A team on the brink of a party little more than an hour ago, but now problems. Shapes to shoot! It's in! Right back in the game! Wonderfully smooth, smart and slick.
Just the sort of forward pass he's been looking for. Very telling.
And when the manager called on him, he was only too happy to repay that faith.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
A shift in momentum, perhaps.
Well, they'll just be praying that one more chance falls their way before the whistle goes. Chibuzqua really can only do one thing now, Peter. Get the ball up front, make sure it sticks, and sustain some pressure.
And he's quick to get rid. Rodgers.
Habrá 5 minutos de descuento.
Driving on and making good progress. Gehi did well to stay calm there. And it's Frimpong. Little pass back.
He had nobody else to help out there.
David Villa, and he shoots! Of course! And they are right back in it. Hopes and dreams alive again.
Well, the old saying about a wounded animal and all that being at its most dangerous has definitely held through this time.
It was a great finish. He put it away with great poise, dead-eye accuracy.
He had the whole picture in his head, Peter. He didn't even look at the goalkeeper.
Back to parity, and there's barely any time. And that's that. The deed is done. They are on the up. Any reflections on what you've seen, Jim?
Chibuzqua can really...